Welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. We're going to jump right in here and we're going to pick up where we left off with this deck. Aftermath Analysis, well, it's going to be the Pest deck, but made some changes to it, put a few more lands in there to gain some life. We're leaning more into the Lotus Cobra now. This deck was starting to get away from me a little bit, so you'll see a long string of losses, or rather I've saved you from seeing a long stream of losses, and instead I'm going to show you when the deck starts to turn around and starts to win a little bit more. We're getting as many lands in the graveyard as we can. We have a little bit more black mana in here. We're also experimenting with a few different things. I don't mind throwing this away if they're willing to get rid of their angel, which of course they aren't because they want to get that life gain. We are trying to play with Pest Infestation, and we put a Dina... Damn it. We put a Dina Soul Steeper in there, and we are hoping to cash in a little bit on those pests and gain some life. A little bit of that happens, a little bit of it doesn't. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to play another Lotus Cobra, swing in, we'll get some damage while we can, and he's just going to keep getting rid of our stuff. Well, that's alright. It's at this point that I finally realized that, you know what? That Pest Infestation is actually handy for taking care of enchantments. Something that can be a bit of a nuisance, can be hard to deal with. We can see them thinking about what on earth they're going to do about this. I'm not getting a ton of value for that Pest Infestation, but we have added a little bit more mana sources in here. Initially, I was leaning heavily into getting triple mana in all my lands. That was spreading a little bit thin and not winning consistent enough, so I'm trying to build some consistency with this. So if you see any holes in this deck, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like I said, this is a work in progress. That Scapeshift is coming in handy. Let's get another land back in the hand. We'll do the Scapeshift. I probably should have left that in there, but let's get these lands on the battlefield. We're going to gain life. We're going to do a little bit more through the turn. I do have the Azusa Lost But Seeking. I can throw her on the battlefield. I can throw that other land on the field. Do that. We'll get a little bit more. We're going to get more mana, but we're not getting more pests. I'm getting confused with actually having my Scute Swarm out there. But this does give us a little bit of a taste, a little bit of a test to see what happens. There's the Scute Swarm. Let's do this and get another land on the battlefield. Give us a little bit more mana. Yeah, let's eat one of these. Gain a little bit of life. Let's eat another one. Gain a little bit of life. Now this doesn't do anything for our toughness, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and swing in, see if they're willing to get rid of it. And yeah, they are. Well, that's all right. Luckily, that's not what this deck relies upon. And I just told you guys that it didn't do anything for the toughness, not realizing myself that it doesn't do anything for the toughness. So they're locking me up pretty strong here. But a turn free from damage gives me a little bit of breathing room, another Scapeshift. I'd really rather have... Well, I do have the Scute Swarm on there, so as long as they don't remove that, we should be in good shape. Let's see what happens here. The clock is winding down. I think they're giving up. What do you think? Oh, probably next turn then. Let's drop this. We'll get some mana. Let's go for the big mana. Big mana, no whammies. Let's take this next turn. All right. Gonna gain some life. That's fine. Let's see how many of these bugs we can get on the field. There's our mana. Let's get our yeah, let's gonna go ahead and do this now. And let's not get rid of everything. We'll get rid of just a few lands. I knew there was only about 4 left, but that's gonna give us plenty of mana to cast everything else in our hand, which doesn't really matter and doesn't do anything. So I think this could work more efficiently, but a very large Scute Swarm coming their way next turn. If this didn't have the frickin' nerfed Meat Hook Massacre, that would be something I would be playing on here. But We don't have that, so let's drop. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, yeah, look at that string of losses. Had a little bit of success, a little loss, but now we seem to be on the right track. There's that Pest Infestation. Now we have a couple of insects in here that are also going to cash in on the life gain. We're hoping to do that with Dina and with the landfall. But, sure, I seem hesitant, but seems like a good hand. Seems like a doable hand. I'm not sure what they're dealing with. They're probably discarding down for a goblin deck. I don't know. We'll see. What's the first card they play? Lord Kaznak? I don't know. Whatever. They're taking their time, so this is not going as fast as I would hope. This is always a bad sign. They're going to give up? Nah, I wouldn't put another video in here where they just gave up. I guess they are going to pass the first turn, though. So, with that, maybe this will wake them up. There we go. Life gain, life gain, life gain. Seems to be the only thing out there. Or at least that's what I keep getting matched up against. Let's do this. We're going to take advantage of gaining some life ourselves. Let's get this back in our hand. I'm hoping that they're going to put down enchantments, and I'm going to use my Pest Infestation again to get a chance to do something here. This spreads our mana just out a little bit thinner, a little bit more. Let's gain some life. All right, let's do this. And yeah, all right. Do they really lean into the angels? Are they going to put counters on it? What do you think? I think they're going to give up. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I thought. That seemed a little bit anticlimactic and unsatisfying. What do we got here? I have added Crucible of Worlds in there to get those lands back. Early on in this, the first time around, I complained the fact that I needed more land in there. I figured if I just reuse it out of the graveyard, that would be something. Spelunking is always an awesome card to get. I really need a little bit more mana. We'll trash some more mana if we have to. Mana in the hand, though, is what I need. That's not good. There we go. All right, let's go for the creatures and hope that they don't blast off with, oh, that is not what I wanted to see. All right. We will cash in a little bit of value. We'll get some more lands on the board. We'll start to go wide if we can right now. They do have trample, so that's not a... Oh, and another big creature. All right, well, I didn't say I was going to win every time, did I? All right, so dropping this on the board... We'll go wider. This maybe draw another land. No, but I'll take a Scapeshift. Yeah, I will gladly take a Scapeshift. Let's get rid of all of these lands. Let's go for any lands that are going to come into the battlefield twice. And we want those black mana. The reason we have it in here and we haven't seen it yet is because I do have a couple of Torment of Hailfires. So we haven't seen that yet. But coming up is the deck. Take a look at it. They looked at those and said, no, thank you. Here's the deck as it exists now. We've got Arboreal Grazer, so we can get land on the battlefield faster. Pest Infestation. We don't want to get milled out. We're gaining life. We're tuning this deck. So if you see anything that you could suggest that would help, please leave that in the comments below. You've already got a version of this deck out here that you've seen, but leaning into the Scapeshift and not as many other creatures, that's what we're doing right now. In the meantime, thanks for watching Tibalt's Apprentice. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram. Go to my store Dark Ritual on TCGplayer, and thanks for stopping by.